My name is Sarah and I am 50 years old. 10 years ago, I married a man named David. We met on a bus. Some say good girls don't talk to strangers, but we did. We liked each other instantly, dated for a year and then got married. When we married, I was young, happy, and full of dreams. I had always wanted to lose weight, though I wasn't overweight. David would often say, "Stop dieting, you don't need it." He cared for me deeply, but I failed to understand the depth of his love. David was a simple man. He didn't bring me flowers every day or serve me coffee in bed. The one time he did, he spilled it on my dress, and I asked him never to do it again. But he showed his love in other ways. Going to work every day, calling me to remind me to wear warm clothes in the winter, and teaching our 2 sons to respect me. David worked hard. He started as a builder, became a manager, and later built his own company. We moved into a house in the countryside. He told me not to worry about work and to take care of our home and garden. I planted flowers, grew fruits and vegetables, and created a beautiful life. Our sons grew up, got married, and blessed us with a granddaughter, Lily. David adored Lily. One day, our eldest son mentioned bringing Lily over for a visit. To my surprise, David declined, saying he had to work that weekend. When I questioned him, he hesitated and mentioned staying at his father's house. Something felt wrong. The next day I went to his office, but he wasn't there. The security guard's wife whispered, "Poor woman, everyone knows but her." Chill ran through me. I called David and told him we needed to talk. That evening he came home. I looked him in the eyes and asked, "Is there someone else?" He sighed and admitted, "Yes. Will you leave or should I?" "Yes. I will leave," he said. And just like that, my world fell apart. Cried I grieved. My sons hugged me and reassured me, but nothing filled the emptiness. The nights were the hardest. I couldn't sleep, I lost weight, and I forgot how to smile. One day, my friend Emily took me to a children's hospital. She introduced me to children battling cancer, yet their faces still carried smiles. Their mothers stayed with them, fighting every day, never giving up. Emily whispered, "Sarah, look at these women. They have real problems. Your pain is deep, but it's not the end of the world." That day my perspective changed. I started helping the children, raising funds for their treatment, and finding sponsors. Through them I found happiness again. 10 years later, a decade passed, and on Women's Day, I waited for my sons to visit. Instead, the door opened and David walked in. He looked old and tired. "Sarah, can I stay here?" he asked. I hesitated but said, "This is your house too." He sat down and whispered, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me." Later, Emily told me that David's second wife had left him. She had lied to him, and the child he raised was not even his. Now he had nowhere to go. I didn't know what to do. Could I forgive him? Could I forget the pain? Every day I thought about it. David stayed in the guest room, rarely speaking. One evening I made dinner. As I placed the plates on the table, he said, "The food smells amazing, Sarah. I missed your cooking." I wanted to smile, but I didn't. "You made your choice," I said coldly. The next day my sons visited. When they saw David, Peter, my eldest, asked, "Dad, what are you doing here?" David lowered his head and admitted, "I made a mistake. I hurt your mother, and now I want to make it right." Peter turned to me. "Mom, are you okay with this?" "I don't know yet," I replied. Later my sons pulled me aside and said, "Mom, you don't have to let him stay. We'll take care of you." I sighed. I just need time to think. That night I lay awake, replaying the past. David had hurt me deeply, but he was also the father of my children, the man who had once loved me. Could people change? Could I trust him again? The next morning I saw him fixing the garden fence. He looked older, slower, yet determined. "You don't have to do that," I said. "I want to help." This is still my family, he replied. A few days later, Lily came to visit. The moment she saw David, she ran into his arms. Grandpa, I missed you. Can we all go to the park together? I hesitated, but Lily's bright eyes melted my heart. All right, I whispered. At the park, she played while David and I sat on a bench. Thank you for letting me come back, he said. I haven't decided yet, I replied. I understand. Take your time. I'll wait. Weeks passed. David stayed in the guest room, fixing things around the house, helping in the garden. One day, Emily visited. Are you okay with him here? She asked. I don't know. I feel angry, but I also feel sorry for him. You don't have to forgive him right away. But maybe this is a chance for both of you to heal. That night I thought about her words. The next morning I made breakfast and called David to the table. Let's talk, I said. He sat down looking nervous. I don't know if I can forgive you, but I want to try. His eyes filled with tears. Thank you, Sarah. I will do everything to make it right. We began spending more time together, slowly rebuilding what was lost. One day I finally told him, David, I will forgive you, but it will take time. You have to prove you've changed. He nodded. I will, Sarah. I promise. Over time we laughed again. We became friends. I still don't know what the future holds, but I know one thing. Forgiveness is not easy. Takes time, love, and patience. Maybe one day our family will feel whole again.